Hey, it's Jay, and welcome back to Breath of the Wild. Um, Today there's a few little things that I kind of wanted to take care of. We're going to start the grind for 100%, going after some of the more um, grindy compendium and the Koroks and whatnot. But before we do any of that, um, there's something that I was kind of like meaning to do for a while, and I never got around to doing it. I don't know where the best place to do it would be, because the lighting here isn't like great. Do you have anywhere with like a good lighting? And the sun's coming up. Well, sure, it'll be fine. I kind of want to go through and take a look at some of the outfits that we've gotten as we have played the game, just to kind of show some of them off. Um, so, old shirt, a thin shirt made long ago. It's coming apart at the seams, but it's better than nothing. The sleeves are a bit on the short side. Well-worn trousers. These old trousers are threadbare in spots, but they're surprisingly comfortable. The legs are a bit too short, though. And actually, I should probably, to get the full experience. I can't remove the arrows, that's okay. Very basic outfit, because it's just kind of like crappy base clothes. Doesn't fit very well. Two belts, which is kind of interesting. I guess that is. Oh, it's not for the arrows. Two belts on the torso, one belt on the side. Nice little decorative pattern at the top. Yeah, this lighting isn't great. I don't know where it would have like really good lighting though. Is the problem. Maybe by the divine. No, maybe by the divine beast could be something. We'll try that. Yeah, this is a little bit better. So yeah, you can see his midriff a little. You can see it's pelvis, just a tad. Yeah, lighting here isn't like super good either, but it's okay. All right. Next up is the Champion's Tunic in ancient Hyrule. Only those respected by the royal family could wear this garment. The Great Fairies increases defense. I'll skip the Great Fairy comments. But yeah, this is the main Champion's Tunic, the iconic outfit of the game. You've got the Master Sword pattern on the front there. You got like a little bit of like green and red patterning, which I never really noticed or picked up on before. The little guard shield along the one arm. It's kind of neat. Looks like an extra strap on the top strap, which is kind of interesting. Your default look of the game. Hylian hood, a hood woven using traditional Hylian methods, made from sturdy material. A common garb popular to Hyrule, especially among travelers. Its light yet sturdy fabric doesn't limit movement. These trousers are common throughout the Hyrule region. The soft fabric makes them quite comfortable. A great phrase. So the leggings aren't like too different than like the old trousers. They just fit a little bit better. The hood actually covers up the actual outfit like a little bit, but it's got an interesting sword-like pattern on the back. Some kind of gem, maybe. Very interesting. I will go ahead and I'm going to take the hood off. I really do like the red. You get the nice little triangle patterns along the seams, the stripes of green to kind of break things up. Lots of armaments on the top half, especially the shoulder. Some cool gauntlets. The soldier's set. Sturdy headgear for protecting the frontline soldiers from vicious monsters. Praise for superior defense. Hylian guards praise the sturdy armor for its superior defense. The high level craftsmanship is obvious. Greaves favored by Highland guards. They owe their distinctly high defense to the metal plates they're made from. Wayfarers and priests. Okay. So the boots have quite the fancy like kneecap ornaments, which is very cool. Like almost wing-like a little bit on the sides there with the little side bits. Skirt's got a little bit of metalwork on it, but not like that much. The main crest is both on the kneecaps and the front sort of tunic pattern. It's on. Is it? I think it's on the wrist guards too. Yeah, it's on the wrist guards. Not on the elbow guards though, which is interesting. Is it on the shoulder pads? It is on the shoulder pads. I don't know why it's not on the elbow pads. Then they put it on basically every other pad. What kind of? Oh, it looks like there might. Yeah, it looks like there is like a metal chest piece underneath the tunic, and then I think there's chain mail underneath that around the torso. The helmet does have like a slightly different color of metal for the front crest with the logo again, chin strap, and of course the little flappy bit on top. That's kind of fun. Amber earrings. We're not going to get a very good look at these here, are we? Not really. They're just kind of pointy and orange. Earrings made with amber, a gem that harnesses the power of the land to increase your defense. The warm doublet. A warm pullover typically worn by mountain folk. It's sturdy fabric and thick gloves are great at retaining body heat. Very nice, very green. It kind of like serves, I guess, as like an opposite to the Hylian tunic because it's green with red highlights instead of red with green highlights. That's kind of nice. Very stitchy at different portions. There's like a little bit in the middle there and on the top, or on his top right chest. Undershirt too, which is kind of nice. Ruby circlet, a traditional Gerudo headpiece. It's set with a ruby, which uses the power of fire to make the cold more bearable. You can just barely see it. Some nice little blue highlights on it, which is neat. Snow quill headdress. Gerudo accessory made from snowbird feathers, adorned with a ruby, a gem that harnesses the power of fire. Made by Gerudo artisans, the thick tunics stacks molted Gerudo feathers into each layer to help retain body heat. The Gerudo feathers that line the trousers make are excellent retaining body heat. Okay. The sun has moved. Is there anywhere here that's like going to be like permanently sunny? I guess like just outside of the Gerudo town, it should be until night falls. Well, I don't know. It's a mystery. Yeah, it's much brighter here at least. You get the nice little like red sort of skirt element, sort of armored a bit, maybe leather in the middle with some straps, cloth over it. You can see the Gerudo feathers on the shoulders there, some green and yellow. At least I think those are feathers. Feather design in the back. I don't know if that's just shaped that way for its actual feathers. It might be actual feathers. The pants are very puffy. The sort of mountainous pattern with the greens and the yellows. I can't get a good shot of the boots because of the sand, but they're very thick boots. 2 different gloves. I think that's got something to do with archery. Because like the guard on the default outfit, I think is like because that's his dominant hand, and that's where a sword is, so it helps protect your hand from dropping the sword. I wonder if that's got a purpose in archery. Yeah, that glove. It does. Nice little collar, puffy collar. Got little, almost pearl-looking earrings, and then the sort of winged factory letters. Oh, I think I see the rubies. They're in like there's like a golden sort of crescent shape just above the ear, and I think there might be 2 small and 1 medium ruby in there. I think is what that is. Oh, but not on the other side. There's something fancy going on the ends of his braids too, with the little red bits. It's neat. Sapphire circlet. Judo headpiece set with a sapphire, which harnesses the power of ice to make the heat more bearable. And again, you can barely really make it out here, but I like the sort of silver. Goes well with the blue. Gerudo armor for males contains sapphire, which harnesses the power of ice to make the heat more bearable. Gerudo armor for males contains sapphire, which I just read the same thing. Gerudo armor for males contains sapphire. That's the exact same thing. Judo trousers for men sold in the Judo Secret Club contain sapphire, which offers protection from the heat. Bare-chested, lots of like cloth and armaments along the left hand. Very nice green. I like a little blue flower on the bottom, pink flower on the top. That's interesting. A little bit of metalment. The strap is red now with golden trim, and there's another strap with green for the actual armor plates. There's a brace on either arm though. That's kind of neat. Like a choker, golden green choker, and headband to match. Big hoopy earrings, like those. Sort of side skirt and back with more golden trim. Big puffy red pants that do have a very Gerudo vibe. And there's armor on the front of the legs, but not the back of the legs. I can't really make it out from these shots. Yeah, there is a gap. And the toe is a separate. The actual boots are like a separate piece than the. They're very sandal-like actually. They got like a front of the leg armor and then like a metal sandal, which makes sense. Gerudo veil. Mask worn by Gerudo women, it protects the skin from the harsh sun, but not expected to protect much in combat. Standard Gerudo garb, popular for its open reveal design and for the traditional Gerudo markings that adorn it. Gerudo favors the traditional serval. Its short length allows for ease of movement, and its subtle design is quite fashionable. I think that those are... Oh, they're more of like... almost like a sandal clog hybrid, actually. The puffy, sort of purplish blue pants. Sort of sun, maybe? Flower design on the belt piece. Little feather things in the back. I never really noticed like the sort of circles adorning it on the sort of puffy arm bits. Fingerless gloves, a ring on either hand. Yeah, on either hand. I think that's the attachment point for the not really gloves, but you know, the sort of flowy coverings. Got the mask. Most of the Gerudo wear their masks under their nose, actually. But this is disguised, so of course. Ruby in the headband, actually, by the looks of things, which is weird. You think it would be a sapphire for the heat. Little flower thing on the back there, too. I think that the chain for attaching the mask goes over the hood, which is not how I do it, but it's a choice. And of course the top. A little bit more green than the rest of the blue, at least in this lighting. Topaz earrings. Earrings made of topaz, which harnesses the power of lightning to increase electricity resistance. You can barely see them. They got like they're very rounded, which I appreciate. I like the pointed bottoms too. It gives a bit of a lightning vibe. An electricity-resistant helmet made from an ancient material called rubber. This armor owes its electrical resistance to an ancient material called rubber, which is nearly impossible to find. These invaluable types of resistance to electricity, they're made with an ancient technology called rubber. Here we have it, the fish gimp suit. I think that's not just black, there's a little bit of brown there too, that's interesting. And gray, I guess, too. It's got sort of a little bit of green or blue on the tops of the boots. Very short, like, cuffs on the boots, though. They're, like, very thick, but don't go up very far. It sort of wraps around the thighs, too, these sort of outer plates, but leaves them in a little bit breathable. Belt buckle. 3 straps along the front. This one doesn't actually have, like, the sort of side brandolo or, like, over the shoulder around the waist that most of them have. Just kind of a neat touch. Big old honkin' gloves. And of course, the piece of resistance, the just fish mask. which I will have to compare it to the Zora helm because it's very Zora in like fashion. I do like the little like stringy bits though, like a cattail nose. That's kind of, or a catfish nose. That's kind of funny. So I think, I'm not positive, but I think the nostrils of the fish are the actual eye holes here. I think that's what they're going for. I don't know. Stone headgear made from tourists by Goron crafters. Not only is it flame resistant, but it also covers your entire head. Fire resistant armor crafted by Gorons for Highlands curious to visit Goron City. Goron artisans use flame resistant rocks to craft these fireproof boots for curious Highlands visiting Goron City. This is the big old poofy set. They got the sort of almost accordion vibe on the knees. Big toes, square toes on the shoes. Lots of little straps, skirt. Yellow for the belt and like the brandola, which is very interesting. Very big, puffy boiler design. Almost looks copperish, actually, which I didn't really notice before. It's got a bit of a shine to it. I just thought it was brown or gray. Same sort of red accordion effect along the arms. Those brass knuckles, not quite. They're not quite like arm guards, but they got these like slot things that look like they can be folded down along the fists. Rings around the wrists too. And then the helmet, you got the little like tuft on the back for like Goron hair, and then the big old face mask. I get the feeling, like looking at this though, that this would not like cool you off if you were in like a hot area. It looks like you would heat it up. It's made of metal and it's very rotund. Expect something with more like insulation than that, but okay. Also, there's something. There's a little symbol on like the, not quite the cod piece, but like the front flap of armor. Opal earrings. They are round. It looks like they do have like a little bit of pink and blue in them, in like the art here, but they're mostly just white, which is a shame because opals are a bit more like milky, and you can see a lot of color on the inside. I also don't know if I would have gone with gold as like encasing them. I probably would have preferred silver, but there's a lot of silver earrings on the, anyway, so I guess that's fine. Zora headgear, right? No, opal. You're using opal, a gem that harnesses the power of water to increase your swimming speed. Zora helm. Zora headgear made from dragon scales increases swimming speed and allows you to spin attack underwater. Armor crafted by each generation Zora princess for their future husband. Equip it to swim up waterfalls. These greaves have been passed down among the Zora for generations. Equip them to swim faster. A great fairy. Yeah, okay. I do really like the architecture of like the Zora sort of stuff, and this armor does like kind of capture that vibe. It's got the sort of swirly bits along the ends, on the shoulder pads, on the elbow guards, and thigh plates, and on the knee plates. I think I saw on the toes. Yeah, the toes are a bit like. I'll probably stand on like a shrine to be able to see it better. The toes are actually kind of flipper-like. At first I thought they were split because of the Zora big toe, but no, they're actually flippers. Slightly different color metal leaning down. It's very like tight outfit though. Like look at that crotch there. Green gem in the belt. That's interesting. Sort of. Oh, like almost like a bead-like belt and sash for this one. There's like a clip for another one. I'm like, he's got on his top right shoulder, he's got it clipped in, but on the top left, there's a clip for another one. Scaled pattern on the chest piece, because they're fish, of course. I like this sort of crown that makes you almost look like you have a Zora's head. Symbol on the back, I think this is a Zora symbol on the back, I'm not totally sure. And I like the flappy sort of bits that sort of emulate a Zora's head. It's very interesting. This might be like, we could just go in the city, but this will save like a little bit of time, so we're gonna do this. But yeah, Zora might be my favorite outfit in the game. I'm not positive. Mechanically, it's like the little like the 3 crests in the middle there too. Mechanically, not my favorite. Aquamarine, not that color. But like just aesthetically, I really do like this sort of look they're going for there. Oh, but the stealth gear is also pretty good. A Sheikah-made mask that suppresses the rustling of clothes, perfect for sneaking about. Armor designed for stealth, passed down through the Sheikah tribe. Its special fabric suppresses sound. Type crafted by the Sheikah, laced with ancient technology that suppresses the noise of rustling clothes. And this is just like very much, not exactly Sheik's outfit, but very inspired by Sheik's outfit. You got the fingerless gloves, you have the like wrappings around the forearms, got the crying eye in the center. I think that the padding, the brown padding with the gold trim along like the waist and the shoulders, I think that that's new. You got the eye on the belt. That's a nice touch. This one also doesn't have like a sash going over, but you'd have the scarf. It's a very nice scarf. A face mask and a little pins in the hair. Kind of neat. I like the sort of like mix of light blue and dark blue along the thighs. That's very nice. Can we get up on the shrine? And actually, we can do the next few on the shrine because it's like morning light. The toes. Very pronounced like big toe, which is like pretty common in ninja gear. I'm not sure why. Again, armor on the front of the shins, but not the back of the shins. Again, with the teardrop symbol. I think those default earrings. And there's just the teardrop symbol on the wrists. The thunder... I don't know why this is not with the electricity resist. Because it's like lightning proof, but shock resist and lightning proof are so similar. I think you put them next to each other. But a precious heirloom passed down among the Gerudo. It deflects lightning strikes. It's traditionally worn by only the Gerudo chief. Of course, you've got the 6 blue eyes, the 2 little red gems along the cheeks, swirly patterns going out. And then along the back, you got the big sort of disc with the lightning, which is very neat. On the sides, there's these pink and blue circles that I never really noticed before, along with like the green highlights. That sort of goes down. Does match well with the blue of the ponytail and the blue of the earrings too, which is pretty cool. Climber's bandana. This bandana uses ancient technology and enhances core strength to improve the climbing ability. The technology used in making this gear in its no-slip gloves will make you a better climber. The special no-slip toes of these boots will make you a more efficient climber. Great fears increase the defense to maximum level. Okay, so yeah, you got the boots, which have like a sort of tan on the bottom, which I guess is the grip. A little red, sort of, not bracelet, but thing around the ankle. That's interesting. A little feathery bit sticking out the pants. You got the green pants, very mountainous, earthy colors, with the sort of lime green around the thigh. The black straps, which are an interesting choice, around the thigh. Izzy's butt crack. Extra little pouch on the left there. Just red rope for the belt. Similarly, there's another sash with red rope, and then the proper sash is like, it's got like those clip things, where you push the little silver bit in, and then you can slide something into it. Mix of both silver and gold buckles on that belt, though, which is a choice. A little bit blue on the top. Straps around the arms, wraps around the wrist, or the forearms. It's some kind of wrist guard, and then the fingerless gloves, and then there's wraps around the fingers. Then, of course, you have the bandana, like the red and the brown. It's got like a little bit of metal in the back there, a little bit of a buckle. And there's some extra, like, little thing like by his right eye hanging down. I do have to say, though, I think I've commented on this before. I don't know if I have. It does look a bit like... Oh, this is a green rope. It's like a little bit of like green climbing rope down there on one of the hoops on the front buckle with another clip. But it does feel like it's got all of the clips for your ropes to like clip yourself into a climbing gear, throw a hook up, shit like that. It's got a lot of that sort of going on for it. But the forearms and the lower legs are like very exposed, which I think if you're climbing a mountain wouldn't be like the best choice because you could scrape yourself very easily. Like, a lot of these outfits, there's no like real reason for you to be completely covered up. Like with like the Zora armor, well, you're supposed to be swimming, so like your skin being exposed won't do much. Stuff like the Gerudo, Vi, and Vo, they have like a lot of exposed skin because they're like desert wear. But for like this one, mountains have lots of sharp bits. They're very cold. You look a little bit underdressed. This is like lower mountain climbing, not like Everest style climbing, which I guess works. But barbarian helm. This one actually has like a similar problem too. Barbarian helm, a helmet once worn by the warriors of an ancient warlike tribe from the Farron region. Armor once favored by an ancient warlike tribe from the Farron region, equipping it boosts your attack power. Leg wraps once favored by a warlike tribe. The traditional design bolsters your fighting spirit to raise your strength. So I'll comment on like the outfit itself first. I want to take a good look at the shoes. Oh, open-toed shoes, almost sandal meets boot-like. A fuzzy bit along the waist. Strap around one leg, which looks like it has like little like bone knives in it. Animal pelt for the skirt. Looks a bit greenish in this light, a little brownish green. The red studded belt, front buckle, and then also a couple little like hanging bits. Those look like Pokeballs. I like the tattoos, the war paint. I like the hand, and then stripes going around. On one arm has similar paint, but the other one has like another strap of like little like bone things. Again, you got the arm guard for the sword hand. This time with spikes on the end, which is very cool. Puffy shoulders. Similar Pokeball clips on the chest around the center like hoop that holds it all together. And of course, you got the big skull mask, almost Balrog looking with the forward-pointing horns and like the big red warrior hair that's almost lion-like in like a way. Thing about this outfit is it does feel like a lot like barbarian gear. Like this is exactly what I would expect a barbarian to wear. And you can kind of see why it might boost your attack power because of like all the horns and the spikes and shit. Oh, this was a pain in the legs. Can we get an upskirt? Can we get an upskirt? Almost. Oh, it looks like there's like a little like, pouchy sort of undergarments. But I do want to comment on the fact that I guess 20 armor is not like that high of armor because it's just like the 28 and I think the 32 here. There's like a lot of the actual armor is 28 and then like a lot of outfits get up to 20. But still 20 feels like a high armor value for something with like this much bare skin. Like your torso is completely exposed here. They can just stab you in your guts. They can chop your arms and your legs off. Like, not great defensively. But I suppose the high armor value is as appreciated because the main thing you're going to be using this outfit for is to like fight bosses and shit. So if it had low armor, it would kind of defeat the purpose. Still a wild one. Radiant Mask, a special mask for members of the Gerudo Secret Club that gives off a lurid, mysterious glow in the dark. Gray fairies increases defense to the maximum level. Shirt sold at the Gerudo Secret Club. It glows in the dark due to a dye made from luminous stones. Gray fairies increases defense to the maximum level. A tight sold by the Gerudo Secret Club. Paint made from crushed luminous stones causes them to glow in the dark. Like I can't really comment on this one fully because it's not dark out yet. But it does have like it's basically just like a black, like, almost skin suit kind of thing. You got the red for the belts, and it looks like there's little golden studs in those too, so that's very cool. Gold studs in the back as well. More fingerless gloves, which I think, you got wraps around the fingers too. I like the big laced-up boots with the red. And the whole thing has, like, vague skeleton printing on it, which we're going to look at this one in the dark too. But I'm a sucker for like glow in the dark skeleton shit, so very, very much a fan of that.